Welcome students. I am Kuber Raja, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Nagnur. The first semester, our subject is Engineering Physics. The subject code is PH8151. First, we should know about what is engineering physics. Engineering. Here, the engineering is a branch of science and technology concerned with the design, building, and use of engines, machines, and the structures. You are all the engineers definitely have some work to assign for the construction of bridges, dams, power plants, like that. Therefore, you should know about what is the engineering. Next, physics. Physics is a study of the nature and properties of matter and energy. In all the branches of physics, we are mostly deals with the matter and its energy. Next, the engineering physics. Here it is the study of combined disciplines of both engineering and physics. Therefore, we are going to study about the engineering physics. In our subject, we have 5 units. Unit 1, properties of matter. Unit 2, waves and optics. Unit 3, thermal physics. Unit 4, quantum physics. Unit 5, crystal physics. Unit 1, properties of matter. We see in the next slide. Unit 2, waves and optics. Unit 2 has 2 sections. First one is waves, second one is optics. The waves, we are going to study about simple harmonic oscillation, the forced oscillation and a damped oscillation, plane progressive waves and its wave equations. And in the next section, optics, we have 2 sections, laser and the fiber optics. Laser is a light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. The laser concept, we are going to study about the basic principle behind the emission of the laser, the types of semiconductor lasers, homojunction and heterojunction lasers, and its the applications. And the fiber optics, we are going to study about the principle behind the propagation of light through the fiber and the types of optical fibers based on the material, refractive index and the mode, and what are the losses associated with the optical fibers. And we will also see about the applications of the fibers, that is the sensors, pressure and displacement sensors. And in the third unit, thermal physics, we are going to study about how the heat energy is produced and how they are transferred from one place to the another place. The heat transfer mechanism, that is the conduction, convection and radiation process. And we are also study about the thermal expansion of solids and the liquids. And we can study the 2 important experiments to find the thermal conductivity of the bad conductors, force experiment and least disc experiment. And we can also study about heat conduction through the compound media, and the medias are in a series and in a parallel, how the heat energies flow from one media to another media. Then we can also study about the applications of the thermal physics, that is the heat exchangers, refrigerators, ovens and solar water heaters. And in the fourth unit, that is the quantum physics. In quantum physics, we are going to study about the black body radiation, Planck's law of radiation, and its derivation, quantum effect theory and experiment, and the wave particle duality, the basic concept of wave function. Um, Similar to the basic concept of the Newtonian mechanics, Newton's equation of motion in classical mechanics, we are going to study about Schrodinger's time-dependent and time-independent wave equations, particle in a one-dimensional rigid box. Quantum physics is revolutionizing, completely revolutionizing physics. And in the fifth unit is crystal physics. In crystal physics, we are going to study about what is a crystalline and a non-crystalline structure, and the basic concepts regarding with the crystal systems, that is a universal lattice, previous lattices, directions and planes in crystals. And we are also study about the coordination number and packing factor for a simple cubic structure, and body-centered cubic structure, face-centered cubic structure, hexagonal close packed structure, and diamond structures like that, etc. And another one important topic is the crystal imperfections, and what are the crystal defects involved in the crystal formations, that we are also going to study. Point defects, line defects, Parker vector, stacking faults like that, and crystal growth techniques we are also going to study. These are all going to study in a engineering physics paper, and if I will explain the unit 1, the properties of matter. This is a content of the syllabus of the unit 1, elasticity, stress strain diagram and its uses, factors affecting elastic modulus and tensile strength, torsional stress and deformations, twisting couple, torsion pendulum theory and experiment, bending of beams, bending moment, cantilever theory and experiment, uniform and non-uniform bending theory and experiment, eye-shaped girders, and stress due to bending in beams. These are the topics we are going to cover in the first unit, properties of matter. Next, let us enter into our subject, the first unit, properties of matter. This is our introduction classes. First, let us see about what is properties of matter. First, we should know about matter. Matter exists in 3 states: solids, liquids, and the gases. There is also the fourth state of matter also, that is called plasma, that is the ionized state of matter. Why the matters are in different states? They are based on their arrangement of atoms and the molecules. It depends on the interatomic distance or intermolecular distance between the atoms and the molecules. In solids, the atoms are tightly arranged and they make some bonds, chemical bonds with the neighboring atoms and molecules. Therefore, they have a definite shape and the volume. But in liquids, the interatomic distance are larger comparing to the solids. Therefore, they cannot have a definite shape. They have a shape of a container and the volume of the container. But the liquids are having a free surface, the topmost layer of the surface. We call liquids, we call it as a free surface of a liquid. And the third state of matter, gases, the atoms and molecules are they are highly distant apart from each other. Therefore, they have a shape of a container and a shape of and the volume of the container. See the figure, the solid, liquid and the gases. These shows how the atoms and molecules are arranged in solid, liquid and gases. Properties. Properties means the matters in a three state can have so many properties. They can conduct electricity or may not conduct electricity, electrical conducting property, thermal conducting property, and liquids are having a surface tension property and a viscous property, and gases are having a diffusion property. But in this properties of matter unit, we are going to mainly focus on elastic properties of the solids. Here, first let us see about load. Before entering into the subject, let us see about the load. See in the diagram, here the crane is used to lift some load. For example, container or the cars, they are lifted by means of a rope of the crane. Here the external force, that is acting on a body that produces a change in the dimension of a body, is called the load. Here the cars or a container or any object, heavy object that is attached with a rope of crane, we call it as a load. This gives the external force to the object. When this external force or object acting on the object, definitely it changes its dimension of the body. It may be changes its shape or the size. Deformation and a deforming force. What is meant by the deformation? It is a change in the dimensions or shape of a body when it is subjected to the external force. Change in the dimension means there may be the change in the length or change in the area or change in the volume or the relative displacement of the layers of the object. Therefore, there may be a displacement of the layers of the object. And the deforming force, the force which changes or tends to change the shape or size of a body without moving it as a whole is called the deforming force. The external force acting on a body, it should not displace the object, but there may be a displacement of the particles or layers of the system relative to each other. That means it changes its shape or size of the object. When it makes change or tends to change the size or shape, then we call it as that force is a deforming force. And next let us see about the restoring force. Restoring force means the external force acting on the body, definitely it changes its shape and the size. After removing these forces, here the body tends to come to its original state due to forces of reaction. These forces of reaction comes into play inside the body, that we call as, and they restore the body to its original condition. These forces we call as a restoring force. In magnitude, the restoring force is equal to the magnitude of the external force. Okay, thank you.